everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of We Shot First. A bonus episode, a very special episode. I take you now to a time in between Book 3 and Book 4, where poser Sham boarded his own custom-painted Z95, a precursor to the X-Wing, as shown here. Looks like a X-Wing with the S-folds, folded down. A little bug shape on the back where those lovely hyperdrives have been slapped in there as like a post-stock aftermarket? Yeah, aftermarket parts. The Archelon is near Bespin and heading back to the Resurgence, but our young, no longer Padawan, because he has a master and is being called a straight-up young Jedi, is heading along. Where are you going, young Jedi?
So, hopping on the Corellian trade spine just out of Bespin, if you take the first left onto the Sanctuary pipeline and head north from there, before you hit the Ablajek sector, you'll actually take a right, hop off the pipeline, and you will be at Saria.
That's cool. Homeworld. How did you measure and then make it bend? That was pretty cool.
You take the measuring tool and then you hit the Q key, and it puts a marker, and then it allows you to keep bending. So you can also do that with a miniature token. Like, you pick it up and then move it and hit Q, and it'll actually show the movement for everyone else when you let go.
Yeah, show me you're moving across the board in case you step on a trap, and you spam Q as you go. I thought it was shift or whatever. I'd forgotten, or spam the space bar. But I know you can do the measuring. Learn something new every day, Padawan. So, with lights flashing, engines glowing, and you well on your way to Sanctuary Pipeline a couple days into your hyperspace journey, what's this? A few voicemails have been left for you. Oh, isn't that cute?
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah. The first one is from Dr. Lath, actually.
Oh, okay.
But do you speak binary?
I do actually speak binary.
Oh, thank God, because here comes Arthur speaking for Leth. You can hear Leth in the background, and Arthur is prompting him that he really should reach out, or and they're arguing, and then it cuts off, and there's sort of kind of like a faded out where they've recorded over it or something, and then you just have Arthur telling you, and then of course he asks you.
Okay.
And then of course classic Arthur.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Next up you have Oberus. The boss is calling. The wife's calling, right?
Oh no. We're gonna have to turn around before we even get there.
Hey kid, it's me, Rahal. Listen, I hope you have fun in your little side quest. Telling me about it. I did a little bit of research on your Homeworld, and I gotta say, kid, if I had known this stuff before you went, I would have went with you. 20-1. Phew, I like them odds, kid. Just remember, be safe. Wrap it up. And it's kind of funny. It's no wonder the doc's snubbing you. Once I told him about what I found out, he was going on and on about this cornucopia of social interactions, and give him enough for his dissertation. Anyways, you have fun while you're out there, and be safe, kid. And remember, the number one tenet of the Jedi: no attachments. Oberus out.
The next one has no tag, but when you play it, you immediately regret it. Yeah, it's definitely that guy that he calls you and just breathes heavily to the phone, but the fact he must be on a moon or something, in a space helmet doing it, makes it like a sci-fi stalker is just all. I don't know how he's got your number anyway, but it just goes on and on. You haven't heard from that guy in months or whatever, but and last but of course not least, Merrick calls you or leaves you a message.
Poser, I have been looking for you for 2 days. No one told me that you've left. I talked to Raul. He's told me you've gone to, as he says, drain the venom. Okay. This is fine. Merrick will take care of Poser's share of work, like Merrick always does. When you come back to Poser, you and I will have to talk about this. I thought you said you were going to carry your load from on. Last time we talked, you said you're going to carry a load. Anyways, when you get back, you come find me. We talk, have drink, settle this. And
I'm definitely avoiding him for a while.
So now you make the final calculations, hang a left at the Sanctuary Pipeline. It's only a matter of time before you're out near the Baudel sector, the Applejack sector, the Ablajack sector, not the Applejack sector, sorry. Oh, there's a box there. It looks like, never mind. Note to self, eat breakfast. Heading out to Saria, your home world, filled with lovely, tall women. Very tall women, no reason. Not being racist, they're just very tall for, yeah. And drink 6-packs all stuck together. Anyway, the scene cuts to an actual orbit shot of the planet Saria. Scanning the planet with your sensors, you find nothing amiss. There is the right level of lack of technology and huddled up actual cities, because Saria, Jesus, I don't think I get this right.
I don't actually know. I've gone with Saria because I think it's Sarians, but I might be wrong. It's fine.
As you approach this planet located in the mid-rim region of the galaxy, it's obviously the homeworld of the Sirian species. It's notable for its inhabitants' harmonious relationship with nature. As you guys see, technology and pollution were frowned upon by the very conservative government. A major point in the planet's decision not to join the Galactic Republic. Now, the Republic, kind of an empire, they kind of sit alone. The Sarian population mainly lived in giant buildings that took up a minimum of space, allowing the remainder of the planet's area to be employed as farmland. Now, foreigners and immigrants and visitors were, with a few exceptions, only allowed in Saria's outside citadels. And these themselves are also extremely cool looking structures. You guys can see this here. I'll just zoom in on this. It looks like a single turret of a castle that has that's sort of like a top, like it's narrow at the bottom, and
think the rook piece from chess.
Yeah, actually that yeah, thank you. That's actually a really good, but again, kind of shaped like a top, right? Like it's still a very...
Yeah, it tapers at the bottom where it's planted kind of into the earth or built into the earth.
Yeah. Nope. I've been manipulating this image like for the entire time, and I cannot get this sucker to pop up. It's tiny. There's a tiny little city. It's so small. They're very small. Very, very, very small. Anyway.
We actually have shrinking technology around the planet, so anyone that flies in just gets shrunken down to minuscule scale.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, wait, didn't they do a movie based on that once?
No.
Is that where it took place? Is that where it took place?
No.
I actually don't know what movie you're referencing.
Fair enough.
Nothing that Skywalker
Honey,
Ranch
I
put out.
Shrunk the Jedi?
Honey, I Shrunk Our Sarians. Honey, I Shrunk the visitors' quarters. Anyway, cut to the planet and a lone Z95 approaching, scanning the planet. Then sidewipe, fade to the Z95 heading down across a jungle and farmland, almost like that shot of the lone rebel with the X-Wing flying over like Endor. Very, very green planet. And then finally cut to a space dock, isolated, with Z-95 in repulsor mode. Slowly landing and touching down. Oh, so gently. Not even requiring a pilot roll, because that sound effect just did it for you. Pop the hatch and breathe Homeworld air. You're so you're so used to artificial pollen allergies. He breaks out in hives immediately.
Well, God, the Citadel or outsider Citadel, so it's actually very polluted.
So much oxygen. Yeah. Not everything looks like a Tatooine docking ring, but there is sort of a universal tech that runs across the galaxy, and spherical or hexagonal units that are open to the sky, stacked, staggered, and can hold up to a decent-sized light transport, though you just land, dead center with your starfighter after gaining permission, of course, and then, landing. There's obviously the bureaucracy of it being in holding pattern, forwarding credits, passport membership, the IFF codes, which brings me to a question. What IFF codes do you have on this ship? Because the originals are some bullshit Darga gangster hut,
Right.
Now, with mechanics, you guys made these your own, and like ripping the ships apart and modifying them, getting them all painted, everything. Changing the IFF codes are a natural thing. So, yeah, obviously you've done it. But I want to know what you actually are broadcasting as. Because a starfighter, a Z-95, not only is sort of becoming widespreadly illegal by the new empire and, really hard to get a hold of by private citizenry. Yeah. It's considered a military-grade weapon that you need permits and licenses for. So you plop down, right?
Yeah.
Now you're not greeted by stormtroopers and E-webs and everything. Like at this time, they're not part of the Galactic Republic, which means they're not part of the Empire. So this planet's fate right now, 4 months after Order 66, is probably up in the air. But I'm just curious, what have you got going for an IFFF?
Well, I believe Dr. Leth at some point had not only redone the IFF codes, but also gotten us the licensings for them, or forged the licensings for us.
So like Oberus Industries? It's just like, or one of his shell companies, right? Hey, yeah. There's no way Let's get to lead any kind of trail. It leads back to him, so it's the partner is the the face man. All right, just curious. So, Master Dina had left you with a little nugget. Her herself, a survivor of the Clone War, in a coma for the last half of it. Her information is a little out of date. But after you guys informed her about what happened in the catastrophe of Order 66 and the slaughter and all that stuff that you guys went through, and now the Galactic Republic has become the Empire, and a little change the old, clone trooper becomes stormtrooper helmet. Oh, look at this. V-wings become TIE fighters, and they take that red racing stripe out of Imperial ships, and then they just look like the big cool monstrosities of death. Are everywhere. It's all new on the shopping. You can buy them on, the Holocron, Amazon. What do you want to do?
Well, the master tasked me with finding a Valerius, I believe.
Yes. Master Valerius. I got a little picture of him here. A bit of an archaeologist. I mean, for someone that shuns tech, well, Jedi are minimalists, right? I mean, like they have no worldly possessions. They have few attachments. They meditate all day long. They play with their swords. You know, they wear fashionable robes. Never goes out of fashion. But they're interested in knowledge and past civilizations and archaeology, things like structures, buildings, acceptable levels of technology. I mean, even in our own modern world, we have people that shun technology, but they still have, you know, mankind's knack for using a tool, a device, a whatever, you know, that type of thing.
Right.
Where you got a car or a horse and wagon, a plow or tractor, you're not sitting in a cave with a stick hunting, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So Valis, his perchance on knowledge was archaeology, lost civilizations, and following the roots of the Jedi Order and alternate Force traditions, and maybe bringing them, like, you know, little two religious leaders sit down and hash it out, and you try to you know, find common ground or sway one to your side, as one might do. This Jedi might be running around pilgriming.
Right.
So she gave you some intel on this guy. Not to mention, I mean, imagine a Syrian with the total huge winged eyebrows and the Fu Manchu, you know, stash, and it's like, it looks so sick, especially with the jade green lightsaber lighting himself, giving that, you know.
Yeah.
Did I mention jade with the, you know, stereotype? And then he's got like braids and dreads going on just to mix it up, you know. I love how the collar of his robe, of the top collar, is like a stiff nobleman's collar, but it almost looks like rope as the top.
I was going to say it looks fur-lined.
Oh, really? But... Oh, yeah. No, you know what? I think you're right. I think that's probably a better acetation. Maybe if I could just... Hopefully I can do something with this image without screwing it up. There we go. There we go. Manipulate this image far better. Yeah. On the hunt for the man himself. You know, and then I'm looking at, I blink and you got that Ming the Merciless going with the scar and the almost long fingernails. You know, like,
yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't find this guy and bring him back to the universe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Damn, well, I don't know what he looks like. I just have the vague.
Oh, she showed you a hollow, like a.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You know.
Yeah.
Picture it. The Sicily Quadrant, you know. Although relationships and attachments were forbidden, this one Jedi, you remind me, you know, it goes on about some relationship. I have a hologram picture, you know. Anyway, you don't get the nice jade and color replication. He's in that faded blue hologram, but you have the twirling Jedi head, you know, like, I'll call you as it circles. Damn bastard, never called me. Of course, I was in a coma. So with an image, a name, now, like you, running around in robes, using one's real name and pulling out it's not just a cutting tool, it's also a handy light source for dark places. Probably not a good idea in this economical, social, and political climate in the galaxy these days. So, without anyone advertising how to find them, you gotta find him.
Yep.
Where would you start looking?
Well, first thing I would do is, grab the axe, grab the duffel bag, hop out of the Zed, and then, start heading in, kind of look for information brokers or, even just a bar, as a place to start.
Okay.
I'm not going to be like, have you seen a Jedi Master? I'm like, okay, I'm looking for this old dude. Was by Hilarious or something.
Okay.
Have you seen him around?
You're looking for a man, and he lives here, and he's my uncle. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Dropping some credits at a few cantinas, you find a proprietor that may, for a finder's fee, have a contact with someone like a broker.
Okay.
So can I have, we'll do a couple of skill challenges here. Can I have some gather info?
Yes, you can.
Okay. And I'm not talking in a day. Like this is like 3 days of,
Yeah, hitting the road, talking to people, figuring stuff out.
Like you roll into a place, buy a drink, and say, "This is what I want." Even though you've got the cone head that's popular around here, like a lot of people, especially if they're going to start pointing you to the right kind of broker, you want to really warm up to these people and spend a couple days in their establishment, and that kind of thing, right? What do you got?
Okay, so first one was an 18.
Okay.
Second one was a natural 20 for a 27.
Ooh.
And the third was a natural 20 for a 27.
I need 3 successes before 2 failures, and you've got 1 fail and 2 successes. So it's going to come down to this next roll, or you're going to have to wait another week.
Oh, do crit successes not count for 2?
No, because anyone could go, I think I'll learn to make chainmail. Mithril, please. Natural 20. Huzzah, I'm a genius. Unless you could pull something right out of the core.
Skill, first the skill challenge rules, not crafting.
Right. Yeah,
but I don't know.
No, you're right. A natural 20 could definitely bonus count as a double success because you get lucky. Sure. Yeah, I'll go with that. I mean, even if it's not, I like that. I like that, so.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I heard, before I actually look it up and prove us wrong, right? Yeah. Pretty sure. He's crafty, ladies and gentlemen. For someone I just said he couldn't make a craft roll, he's pretty crafty. All right. So ditching the fighter a little while ago, it is because the structure is so open in the air, you can hear like the wind blowing, like not practically indoors, but you know what I mean? Like there always is that Windy City vibe.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Right. And as you wander around and then like hitting club after club, anyway, you finally wander into one club, shall we say, and you strike gold in that they don't turn you towards a broker. Like there's not like, oh yeah, there's a broker sitting in a bar. The best he can point you to is a bounty hunter. So he points at an alien sitting in the corner having a drink and says, this alien is a bounty hunter, and if anyone could find you an information broker, it would be someone in that vocation.
All right. Well, thank you.
Okay.
Very much appreciate it.
So you wander over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll get 2 drinks first.
Okay.
I'll bring one over. I'll try and see what they're having and get another one.
You could ask.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's even better.
The bartender's like, what's he drinking? I can just imagine you like wandering over and looking this guy up and down and looking into his glass and nodding, going back and getting him a drink. Because that's not personal space issues.
Well, I was trying to see if I could see it from the bar, but yeah, if
Okay.
I'll ask the bartender to just give me another one of whatever he's having, and then
Okay.
something for myself, and then I'll just casually stroll over.
Okay. Now, taking from the wonderful world of the internet, a huge generic, how can I put this? A generico kind of map of everything, like there's main walkways, there's storage rooms, there's a bit of a cantina, like everything and more. It's almost like a mall, right? And I think this works because of the space constraints, of the tower you're in. It's like you're at a super mall. Like there's a cantina, next door is the medical facility, and next door is the this and the this and the this, right? So can you take my map there too? Can you actually see where it's marked? See and ping cantina? You see the...
I do not see the pings.
No, I'm saying like, can you ping? Do you see it? So you can show me that.
Oh, no, I don't.
You do not. Okay. on one top right corner, we have what looks to be a control room with restricted space that you're shunned away from. You know, like something that's operational to the tower with medical. But, you know, not so far away, there's, you know, like bunkers and this kind of thing. It's almost like you're on a cargo vessel that's been parked like a motorhome.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. Anyway, this particular space is unusual because it's an old medical facility that they fit as a cantina. So they have these like lounge chair, like they used to sit you back like the dentist. These are just reclining chairs. They'll serve you a drink. And like they left, you know, like those theme bars, just like, oh, you know, it's road signs, or oh, it's this, right? This is like an actual medical office. It has all the furniture, but nothing, like no medical stuff. Though they serve you drinks on steel trays. You know, there's aliens walking around.
Honestly, it's probably one of the most sanitary cantinas around.
Well, that's the thing is like now age it like a 19, like you know those abandoned hospitals, and you see like that 1960s cream colored plastic medical equipment, and it's like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, gotcha. Like it's like, oh, this is so cool, and then it's like, but it's been here a while, and maybe not so great, right? Now, not worrying about minis, you know, like trying to stay a little bit more theater of the mind here. So you roll up on the alien that he points out to you. Mr. Alien Bounty Hunter, would you describe what our young Jedi sees sitting in a corner with your drink?
It's you're not sure where the machine begins and the human ends. It's what human you do see is of that of an old man, gray hair, a beard. When you look at him, you see 3/4 of a human face and then 1/4 of a robotic jaw, as he just sits there and he has this metallic pipe that glows every time you see he pulls from it, and the ember glows. Then there's an exhaust port on the side of the jaw that's built in to exhale smoke. It's got the traditional like wide-rimmed like Sloan hat, and it's pretty much like every bit iconic, like the cowboy character with the trench coat, the bandolier with the bullets on it or the energy cartridges, you know, and the pistolier and the boats, every bit the image there. But you definitely see that this is get the feeling that this character has seen damage, as is replaced limbs that are robotic as opposed to human. But it seems that the robotic parts are just as old as the individual is.
I can't get over the tassels. Like, take the Western cowboy, dusty and dark leathers, and then there's the howdy doody cowboy in the bright cream and white with all the tassels, you know, but they've got him in this starlit moonshot. So he looks dark. The tassels are like glowing, but he's got the cuffs with the tassels. The tassels run straight down the outside of his thighs. And then he's got the mantle of tassels. And then you get to that face that's covered. Is that tassels on the mask, or is that some kind of hair beard you got going there? What is that? Besides all the machinery that you've, you know, like I love the Vader chest thing plate that's actually on your belt, like a belt buckle. I'm looking at the picture of you.
Yeah.
You look confused. This is the picture.
No. I know what you're talking about.
Right. And adding in everything you've said or whatever, but I'm just curious. Like you said, you're not sure where the machine and the tassels end and the person.
And there is a guitar.
Yep.
Just sitting beside him on this chair.
Okay. Oh, I thought that was a cape. No, that's like a moon in the shot, isn't it? It's like a okay.
That's a planet.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait. Can I wield a planet, Jeff?
No. You
Okay.
can have one as a cape.
Yeah, so it's okay.
If you stand in front of one, you can pretend it's your cape.
All right.
Okay, so I've got this picture up.
All right. Well, I have to change my weapon proficiencies here for a second.
But it's the slightly too far apart, wide eyes that are just framed above that mask and mech and just under the hat that really, really catch you, poser. Anyway, he just eyeballs you as you approach.
Excuse me, sir. Can I have a moment of your time?
Certainly there, young'un. Grab yourself a seat.
All right. I'll place his drink in front of him, place mine where I was going to sit, and then take my axe off and place it next to me.
Well, shit. You certainly know you were around hospitality there. As I grab the drink that he put down, and before he picks up his, just clink his before he picks it up.
Okay. The best part is he drinks without even taking the pipe. He just switches his jaw and it shifts by itself to one side to make room for the drink.
The hand leaves the pipe, but the pipe stays.
Yeah, exactly. You just switch sides with your jaw and then, the drink goes in. Right?
Yeah.
So, I'm looking to find some information to find someone. And you seem like the sort to know where I might be able to find an information broker.
Yeah, I might know a thing or two.
Bartender gives you the thumbs up. What a great con. He just sends everybody your way. You get free drinks, but he doesn't need to know that or yet.
Yeah. But it's going to cost you more than a drink there, partner.
Oh, of course, of course.
What kind of information are you looking for?
Well, like I said, preferably just looking for an information broker, but ultimately I'm searching for someone, old, crazy codger. It goes by Valerius.
There's different kinds of information brokers there, son, you need to learn about. Certain things don't want to be found. Certain things are easy to find. Certain things you gotta be dead to find. Thankfully, what you're looking for, you don't need to be dead for. Ain't that bad at all. No.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Now, I tell you what, they're here. Old Slate, look after another young'un there. Looking over at that axe you're wielding. I can say this one here will be a bit on the house there. Coming from another respected artist to another.
Well, thank you. Very much appreciate that.
No worries.
And maybe when this is all over, we can jam.
Hey, ain't no one said that Solid Slate ain't a man of culture.
Likewise. Poser Sham, at your service. And thank you.
Well, my pleasure's mine.
Now, before you can actually get him to work for you, he excuses himself, gets up, grabs his guitar, downs his drink, and goes up to the end and actually plays a full set for the audience.
And it is the saddest set that you have ever heard.
He's terrible. He is absolutely god awful. People leave. Aliens just open. No one boos him. Some just sit there chuckling their asses off, right?
No. The sadness is that it's always dour. The mood just sinks.
Oh, you just oh, sorry. When you said sad, I thought you meant he's not good.
No. Sad as in it's yay. Everyone's like, oh, we're happy. And then he played the music. It's like, now I'm just sad. Why am I sad?
Yeah. Okay.
You get a single tear down Poser's cheek.
He's like, I don't know happy songs. Just my way.
Who is it?
The theme song for The Littlest Hobo.
No, who does Ring of Fire? Burn, burn.
Johnny Cash.
Yeah, Cash, right? So Johnny Cash
burns.
I'm thinking very much like the
Ring of Fire.
If we think the Wheel of Time, Gleeman.
Oh yeah, the Gleeman, the bard.
Tom. Yeah,
Tom Maryland.
Tom, I'm very much thinking Tom Maryland. So he knows that song, but only that song. The man who lost his name, or yeah.
Yeah, so he gets up there and he throws that up on a loop, right?
And it's awesome, but it's like sad.
Yeah, and then he goes to play this like a second song, but it's the same one, but just the instrumental. You know, it changes the tempo, and then the third song of his set is he sings it in a different key, like as if you guys don't notice. Yeah, like as if you guys don't notice, you know. And then before he gets to his acapella component, he flips the guitar over to slap it for his acapella. They quickly get him another drink and bring him back to you.
That was really beautiful. It's a great job.
I've been working on that one now for many a cycles.
Now, people bring him credits, but you're starting to suspect it's to keep him here with you drinking and not getting back up. Not for any respect of his art. It's like, let's just keep him with the drinks. You know, like people send, they actually don't send money. They just send drinks over, like appreciation, but then it's like, well, it's going to take him a while to get through those.
See now, son, when you eventually get up there in reputation, this is the kind of respect you'll be able to gain.
Fair enough. I'm not someone who focuses very deeply on one type of music or one specific song. I have a little bit of a bigger repertoire, but...
Fair is fair. I figured you gotta focus on the instrument or focus on the song. I chose song. And look at my rewards that I have reaped.
They do seem very plentiful.
Can I have some new skill challenge rolls? Because although he's pointed you to the right guy that should know what's going on, it does come down to a matter of chance. So can I have a gather info from you, Aiden, and a single roll, and Ryan will, role play the number how well he might know what you're asking.
Yeah.
Okay. 15 would be barely successful, so he might be able to get you something, but I don't think he'd probably take you right to the guy.
All right. You seem like one of them young kids who's savvy with that HoloNet, right?
Somewhat.
Yeah. Now, there's this one link portal I can give you. Should be pretty legit. You can use that. You can put out the search, and I'm sure you'll be able to get your hit for your individual you're looking for using this.
All right. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. Should really help in my search.
Well, narrowed it down to this side of the galaxy at the very least.
Fair enough.
Well, you bought him a drink, you get a website, right? You want him to hunt down a guy for you, you got to pay 1,000 credits. And here's a link that I like to use for the. He might be in this mall. So for Ryan's stunning performance, dude, I'm gonna give Merrick a force point. I'm gonna give you, Ryan, an extra force point because that was freaking spot on, dude. I want you to keep this guy as a backup, or we definitely got to see him again. So you finish up your drinks. You head off to the the local web portal. Anyway, we don't have one here, but he tells you another part of the mall where you can find one. And there's those self-checkouts that are very popular. Yeah. Okay, so there's 3, and they're like telephone booths, right? So you can have a somewhat private search or a somewhat private conversation, but not so private that police going by or something can't go okay, the drugs are here at the, you know what I mean? No one's going to lean in and see it you're searching, but it's not something you want to risk pulling up on tentacle porn or anything, the type of thing that Yeah. Okay, so you approach, and there's 2 free, first one, second one, and on the third one is a woman who seems to be arguing with someone about payment. The woman is very upset because apparently she feels that the person on the other end of this, net call owes her money for services rendered. Madam, would you please describe what you look like while I pull up your picture, Celia?
Right, well, what you're going to be seeing is a spry young human female wearing a cloaked hood with an obvious pair of steampunkish goggles upon her lovely cranium. And she is voicing obvious disapproval at not receiving what she determined to be her fair share of a bounty. You know, bounty hunter etiquette being what it is. They never would have caught that man if it wasn't for me. So, of course, I demand a finder's fee.
He brushes her hood back, and you catch some of the Karen-shaped haircut with orange and green streaks. She wears a lime yellow fluorescent lipstick and has piercing silver eyes. And the hand that's pulling the hair is actually completely prosthetic. It's one of those old school prosthetics where, like, it's a decent robotic arm, but it has like a wooden forearm attached to metal plates, and you can see the wires exposed, and even a serial number barcode branded on the back of her wrist, like a stock model. Like, this has been bought stock, not modified or painted or anything like that.
Yeah.
And, of course, the suitable sexy leathers where, there's the bustier, and the hood actually is like a strap over the top of the collar, emphasizing, like the bust. And she has like this collar ring around her neck that, and the goggles and everything. And, continues on with her argument completely focused on that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to leave her to it. I will take number 3, the farthest one away from her.
Okay. So you get in there, you pay your credits. And, you go to the site. Finishing up your phone call, it is what it is. Can I have a persuasion and a perception from you, Celia?
Maybe.
Persuasion?
Well, let's just have a little look-see here. Perception of 19.
Okay.
And let's see if my silver tongue is going to do me some grace today.
They agree.
With a persuasion of 25.
That's perception.
Oops,
Both perception
wrong
and persuasion. You see that this is the people that owe you money clearly on the screen.
Right. A persuasion of 8. Apparently my southern charms ain't coming across to them.
From the southern parsec. Unfortunately, they, shall we say, don't see eye to eye. And, what's done is done. They suggest you move on. You've already been amply compensated for what you've done. They don't agree with you about, your role in what happened in the latter part of the transaction. They do not agree with you that you're owed money from that type of thing. They kind of back up, going, you did this and you're paid. And everything that happened... No, that wasn't you. It played out this way, and that kind of thing. And they're stiffing you, right? Don't seem to persuade them, and they end the transmission. But with your slippery 25 perception, you notice that there is a young Syrian male. They're not rare, but they're certainly uncommon, even from the Homeworld, right? Now, the males don't generally hang out here in the outsider quarters unless they're looking to do business with outsiders or leave. Now, this guy is doing a search that tells you 3 things. He's looking for something, but what's he looking for? Transport off this rock? Well, of course you have a ship. Is he looking for something or someone? Well, you need to make money. And if you can jump on this hot tamale before he actually finds it through the website he's... Oh, Jesus. You remember this old-timey bounty hunter, one of your rivals, lives and dies by this website? Doesn't really do anything. Just takes you in endless loops. But it will get you a lot of mariachi bands cheap. I mean, it's good for finding those. What do you want to do?
Well, I'll saunter on over.
Okay.
Do the whole drape across the shoulders thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, honey, you ain't gonna find nothing on that antiquated side.
Ooh, I smell another force
talking
point.
To old Slatey boy inside. There's a reason he's just sitting there at the bar playing his little songs to make a living.
And that's probably pretty fair, but this was the only lead I had, so I figured I'd run with it. See where it ran. Apparently it's led me to you, so.
Well,
Nice to meet you, by the way. Name's
Oh.
Poser.
the name's Seela. The pleasure's all mine. Perhaps we can come to some sort of arrangement. I happen to have a particular set of skills.
I might need you to elaborate slightly.
Well, come now. Not just anybody's going to know exactly what that site was you were on. Just what were you thinking?
As the sea of pop-ups will not leave your device alone. As you try to close them, but 5 more pop up in return.
At that point, we'll just turn off the computer. Fair enough. I'm looking for, this old Sarian, crazy old codger. It was by Valerius, I think. Where do you suggest I continue my search? Or if you're willing to help, I do have the credits.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I can't seem to hear you over the sound of my empty pockets.
Celia, is that you, sugar?
Yes, honey.
How you doing, girl?
Oh, I'm doing just fine now. Can't you see I'm busy here dealing with a potential client?
Oh, well, pardon my intrudence. You have yourself a good day.
Cheers, sugar.
And that's how you get a force point, gentlemen. All right, so
I will slide some credits into her hand.
Right, now. Valeria, you said, right?
Valerius.
Oh, Valerius. All right, well, you'll just have to leave that one with me, honey, and I'll be back with you shortly.
All right.
Cheerio.
easy money. And he realized hours later she ripped you off. Saw that coming. You just wait for me right here, all right? Is that... So she leaves and you're left hanging there for a while, wander around, hit a couple more cantinas. Things aren't coming up much better than the roles you've already done. What do you want to do next?
Yeah. It's been a couple of days. So I'll actually head back to the spaceport to go check on the Screeching Rancor. Make sure she hasn't been impounded for BS political or, bureaucratic reasons. So.
Okay. You go back to your hangar bay and there's the proverbial guy that, unlocks your door, right? Anyway, this alien is having an argument on a comm. And he's like halfway through his lunch on his lunch hour, and he's screaming at a cousin or a wife or something. Like, it's obviously the guy's like completely distracted, everything. And you need your key or you need your pass to get in. Show him your key, and then it's like, oh, you stand there and he's ignoring you, looks at you, points at his food. So you wander down to your bay, and oh, good, the door's ajar. Strange.
That's not good.
So you go in your bay, and there's the little tiny bot maintenance droids that are just, stacking crates, and they've already fueled you, and, that kind of thing, and blah, blah, blah. But there is a figure doing the slow 360 walk all around your ship and standing there, not back to you, but shoulder to you, just kind of stroking the chin, looking your ship up and down. Stranger, would you please describe yourself while I pull up your pic here?
Yes, I look a lot like a Derosian. But if you look closely, you would probably notice that maybe I powder my skin or something like that. Because if you look very closely, you'll would probably be able to tell that I'm actually a Nemoidian. But Nemoidians aren't taken very well given recent times, so he usually tells people he's DeRosian, because nobody minds a DeRosian. But those Nemoidians, now they were separatists, and those don't get along very well.
Are you wearing what I'm looking at? Because this is a very iconic figure you're styling yourself after.
Yeah. Well, that's why you see a little bit of... Normally, I actually probably have gray skin, as most Nemoidians actually have, but I've powdered myself to give myself a little bit of a bluish hue, so that maybe you think I'm DeRosian.
Or a very famous bounty hunter in these times. Would you, sir, be the original article, perhaps? Or someone who styles himself after it using the... What is it when you... Identity theft in the business? Is it a way to get extra credit? No, I'm serious. This is a thing, man. Don't laugh.
Yeah.
You know? I will accept, deception roll, your answer verbatim.
Well, of course I'm Cad Bane.
Can I have some galactic lore from Poser? A Nemoidian? No. A Duros. With a wide brown leather brim hat. Some breathing or aquatic apparatus sort of suctioned to his cheeks, but not covering his mouth. Pointed teeth, flat nose. Completely washed over, practically red glowing eyes. A dark brown trench coat, complete with the tail flaps. 2 pistol handles on classic gunslinger hip holsters, either side of his hips. Some sort of bracer gauntlets cover his forearms from wrist right up to the elbow with tech, and fingerless gloves betraying, again, the bluish-hued fingers of a Duros. Under the trench coat, wide belt, ammunition, tall collared, separate brownish tan colored. The hat and the coat have a rustic reddish hue to it. Tall boots, and again, some sort of tech attached to the outside of the boot. With a galactic lore of 23, you may know this silhouette as a bounty hunter that has operated all over the Outer Rim by the name of Dane? Yeah, Plaid Dane, I think his name is. No. Well, it couldn't be Bane because I'm in a different universe. So it can't be Bane. It must be something else. But playing with the name, this guy seems to take note of you, noticing that you're noting his ship. And he turns to you.
Excuse me, sir. Can I help you?
Is this your ship?
It depends on who's asking.
Oh. Dane. Fad Dane.
Pleasure to meet you.
Copyright Walt Disney.
What was a sham?
I'm sure. I'm just here with the Citadel Spaceport Protection Agency. We just head through some of these areas and make sure that criminals don't mess with the private property of the Citadel.
I have a deception roll, please, considering your appearance does not look like any sort of official uniform. Unless he's one of those, you've heard of those secret shoppers and,
Now, I only rolled a 16, but Nemoidians get the racial ability to re-roll deception checks. So
that's true.
If I would...
What's the counter check?
If you really want to sell your Duros, hop in the cockpit and pretend you're re-rolling a piloting check like they did. That would really, really sell. He just tells you, like, this entire time he's telling you this crap line. He's climbing your ladder and he gets into your cockpit and he starts lighting up buttons and it's just like, yeah.
So I bet with even more of a deception check. Because I'm not. Am I even? Yes, I am at least trained in pilot, so I'm not bad. But 19 for that deception. I think perception is the counter for a deception.
Yeah.
A perception of a non-natural 20.
Would you like to use a force point there, Fad? Was it?
Yes.
Yes.
It'll pass.
Oh,
Ooh, I rolled a
25.
6.
Suck it, Jedi. Would you like to use a force point? Because now I've got players sucking force points out of players. 24.
Not quite.
You completely believe that it's Cad Bane changing his name to Fad Dane. Oh, the whole thing about security is bullshit, obviously, but you're pretty sure it's... You believe what you want to believe. Anyway, Poser, he gives you this line, marveling, appreciating the ship there.
Well, I
One
appreciate
criminal.
the concern for, the property of private citizens and the Citadel. As you can see, if you've checked any of the logs and whatnot, everything's up to code, up to spec. So,
Yes, it
if
does
you have
all
any
appear
questions-
to be.
if you have any more questions, I'm happy to answer them. I nothing to hide.
Oh, don't often see Syrians here in the outer Citadel.
Oh, I'm not exactly looking for someone in the main cities. So,
Going where the numbers are better. I understand.
yeah. Well, and he's less likely to be among the general populace. He's kind of a kooky old codger.
Oh, I see. I thought you were here for playing the numbers game. 20 to 1. All
Oh,
that.
nah, I'm good, but fair assessment.
Mr. Dane, since I left you alone with the ship, I'll allow you to take 10, maybe even 20 on a perception. About
Okay.
the ship itself, which would give us a what?
10 would be a 14 and a 20 would be 24.
Paint job's new, but the ship's old. And Z95s are, becoming unpopular by the new empire, yada, yada, yada.
Mm.
So the odds that this is stolen are way better than 20 to 1, I can tell you that. Which probably means this kid is broke. I mean, he doesn't dress like he has money. And the ship is secondhand. Sure, it's a starfighter worth a pretty penny. But only to the right person, because you can't just go through regular channels to flip this thing over. I mean, the Hutts still use these things in private security, but they're on their way out. So, shaking this kid down for money, oh, he's looking for someone, he probably cannot afford you. So your best bet, good thing tomorrow, the guild posts new bounties for the month. And everyone, there's a couple of hunters around the Citadel just to get access to the guild feed that goes on the main HoloNet for the outside world. And because it's the outer Citadel for outsiders, they have connection easily to the greater galaxy, and then you decide if you want to spend your last dime on getting a ship or renting space and heading off to wherever you might find something, hopefully something closer because, you're on broke. But as much as your heart swells that he might believe you're Cad or maybe even a security bureau officer, kid's probably not worth your time.
Well,
He
appreciate-
has that smell about him that his purse strings have recently been cut. Don't know what it is.
well, it's a pretty ship that you've got. Hope
Thank
you keep hold of it. I'll be on my way.
Have a good day then. After he leaves, I'm just gonna kind of cock my head at some of the droids and be like, huh. That was
They-
odd.
They act like the minions. They point at each other like he let him in, not us. It wasn't me. That kind of thing.
I'm not blaming you. I'll just.
So with the classic 2-finger tip of the hat of the brim, dude slides on out never completely putting his back to you. And when he does, it's with such confidence, it's almost daring you to do something. But of course, he's close to cover by then. And he leaves. You finally get the droids and the attention of the harbor master, and you get things settled, pay, whatever. And let's say you've been here a couple days to a week. And although a lot of this sort of happened in one day, and you finally almost got somewhere, if the master's still alive, and that's a big if, he's probably gone to ground, and information brokers are what you're looking for, and that you keep running across bounty hunters, which would be bad for a Jedi Master, because they would probably, I don't think they'd turn him in, but they would be damn sure to go, excuse me, I gotta go check something, and head right to the frickin' guild and see if there's a post for him, or what's the current going rate for a Jedi, and then maybe, start stalking him. I mean... Well,
that's part of the reason why I was like, he's just some crazy old coot, some crazy dude.
Now, flashback to your previous master when you were really young. You had seen your master, puppy at his hip, as it were, dealing with these sorts of folks, hard lives, hard choices. Master had nothing against them. They're all trying to carve their way away of the galaxy. They had a sort of warped, sort of mercantile honor. But despite how they dress and act so uncouth, they're actually not highly educated, but they're very, very cunning, and that makes them very, very dangerous. Now, these lessons came at a time where the Jedi were at a height. They were the peacekeepers, but his lessons towards you were like, they look at us like a cop. Oh, am I speeding? Check your speed on your speeder. They see us in the robes, and they suddenly, whoop, they measure their step, they tip their hat, they hide their gun, like we're cops, So he's taught you what to look for. Don't jump at every reaction, because who we are makes any civilian act like that. They rein it in your presence, as does, these people. The dangerous ones don't shift their attitude. The dangerous ones don't even blink when a Jedi's in the room. And those are the ones you got to be careful. Now, the idea back then when he was teaching you these things, that a Jedi would be hunted by a bounty hunter is no. But now, realizing that you were looking for a Jedi and you keep running into one after the other of these con artists, musicians that need to make ends meet and possibly, dabble in gathering information in people, ship enthusiasts, Yeah,
it's a whole lot of odd coincidences. The Force is
now
sketchy right now.
But it's funny enough, if you think of the Star Wars Galaxy on Hall, goggles on a girl doesn't make her a mechanic. Guns on the hips of a guy doesn't make him a gunslinger. And a guitar in the hands of a mysterious Western alien doesn't make him a good musician. Just saying.
The man who can't forget.
He's still singing that. Can we have a couple lines? Your time to burst into song was before, but never mind. So now, with all this swirling in your head, time begins to pass. You go to other parts of the spaceport. You go to other cantinas. Like you said before, you had an interest in I need to make some money. You start offering yourself to bands, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. So you get in with a couple of ragtag, not really Syrians, but a bunch of aliens or whatever that are just kind of they came here, they love the natural vibe of the world, but they got to make coins, they got to go to the big city to make money. And so you got a bunch of not eco-terrorists, but seriously eco-friendly musicians.
Yeah.
And they're on stage, and they're talented. You could see it in their music, and they give it thought, and they're collective. Like they mesh, but their material is so bad. You know, they need these guys could probably do well if they had some fresh beat or a fresh angle, you know?
Yeah.
So
I'll approach them, you know, kind of in their sets.
Can I have a couple of drinks, a little appreciation between sets, and a heart-to-heart chat with these band members, which leads us to a persuasion skill challenge.
Alrighty. And due to one of the talents that I have, I can substitute my use the force check for my persuasion checks.
Okay.
Nat 1 for an 18.
Okay.
Great way to start it.
At first, they're not interested.
Good. Second one is a 35.
Your rebuttal?
Okay, look. I understand, but have you guys heard of Felucian Collins? He's a musician from Felucia. He is great. I know some of his work. Can't do it as well as he can, but it's not bad.
They look at each other. More persuasion?
And it's environmentally friendly. I mean, you know about Felucia, right? It's a giant mushroom forest planet. I mean, Felucians are... I mean, they're honestly like half mushroom. It's kind of odd. They're cool, but odd.
Feeling these guys out, there's a band leader, and he's the one that, you know, writes their music, and, you know, they all kowtow to him. But the other band members start coming around and seem more interested, and they talk the band leader into like, well, let's have a jam session with this guy. So they arrange the next day to have a jam session. You meet with these guys, and you play. You jam with these guys. Would you try to adopt to their style and improve theirs? Would you just go full on your angry metal for you to like blow them away? You remember that scene in Back to the Future where Michael J. Fox gets up on stage and plays like Barry music and then right type of thing, and then he takes it too far and goes nuts, and they just can't handle it, that kind of thing. Like how are we trying to win these guys over here?
No, I would pull it back, play it relaxed and easy. You know,
Okay.
I have expanded my styles just from heavy metal.
Okay, what would performance check come after in the skill
I
set
would
here?
assume
I'm wondering.
Persuasion.
Yeah, I mean, without much else to go on, that's what I was thinking. Endurance.
You don't like that I can use the force.
you just like, you have like a band duel, and you just like outplay the band leader. You make him sleepy with your endurance check, right? Do you have any like life sciences, physical sciences, social science, anything like that?
I got nothing.
Okay.
I got mechanics and initiative.
Deception, persuasion. Okay. Well, mechanics, you can always like, I could be your roadie. I notice you like take a guy's instrument and like tune it for him on the spot. Here, try this, it'll be much better. And they're like, ooh, you know, if you want to try that angle, then it'd be a mechanics check, right? I mean, getting in the band is getting in the band. It's up to you, but you want to start by like not replacing, and sending them in a new direction. You're trying to get in, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'll mainly just play guitar and kind of play their songs, but you know, if they give me time on mic, you know,
amp it up. Yeah, like different tempo, like a cover version. Who is it? Like Ant Farm does like Smooth Criminal and everything, like dun 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 dun. Any, are you ready? Any, are okay? This is better than fucking Michael Jackson. Dun 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 dun. Like, it's so cool. You hear this blaring through the radio. Like it's like, yeah. You know, the trees are dying, and you have to do something about it. Dun dun dun. You know, get the message in there. You know, that kind of thing.
It won't be that hard, but yeah.
I just making assumptions here. I'm not trying to spoon feed you what to do.
No.
All I'm going off of here is a reflection of what I know of Poser. That's all. Not, you know, telling you how to play.
No,
That's
totally fair.
Let's have those persuasion checks.
Alrighty, I will make those. There's a 24.
Okay, they're listening. They're grooving. They're looking at each other like, let's keep going with this. Keep going.
33.
Oh, they're really digging where this is going. One more.
31.
Oh yeah. They're like, oh yeah, you know. So they just got to have you, you know. They don't ask you to join the band permanently, but they're like, we do want to work with you. We like your ideas. You know, we got a gig coming up. You know, we gotta put you in the set and your ideas and all that type of thing, right? So like there's not a band is pretty loyal to itself. They're not like out with it out type of thing. So in 3 days, you guys work with these guys. Forget about everything else. You get totally absorbed in music. You find yourself on stage in 3 nights, and they start off with their regular whatever. And then they're feeling the audience is doing what you said they do. They're falling asleep. They're leaving. You're like, okay, let's change it up here. You know, they bring you off of like backup guitar where you're just strumming to like the forefront, and you start singing like a duet with this guy. But you take the lead on it, and their lead singer is like backing you, right? Yeah. And you rock it with a persuasion of.
Let's go.
Now, when you use the force for persuasion, can you do a crowd with use the force persuasion, or does it have to be a one-on-one target?
It's just substituting the bonus. So whatever persuasion can normally be used on.
Well, if you can feel the living of the whole room, I don't see why not. So sure. Okay. So with a 21?
Yeah, 21 was a little low.
Yeah, but it's over 20, which is decent impression. They don't hate it. You know, people go, oh, that's new. You know, you certainly don't make it. You know, so they kind of go, here you go. Like, yeah, this is kind of like, Some people, like a young couple, get up and they like sit back down, get another drink, you know, kind of thing, right? You guys finish your set, and the proprietor comes over and says, "That wasn't bad." You know, like. This is interesting. You guys are going a new direction. Like, I want to hear more of this. Anyway, so with sort of the, not overly impressed, but the sort of you're okay nod from one of their clients, this solidifies, you know, they ask you to, you know, hang out, right? Now, you've talked to them about your personal life, right? I flew in, I'm looking for somebody, I'm here for a couple weeks or a couple months, I gotta leave, you know, like, they know this is not a marriage, right? So, that kind of thing. But yeah, they, you know, like, they adopt you in the band, you want to work with them, change their style a bit, work on some songs, you know, but suddenly they want you to be full-time band member. You have to kind of abandon your search. Now, you could see, like, just wait, see if some leads come up and check on them, but you're kind of going now from, you know, full-time searcher and part-time band member to, okay, I need to seriously shift in the band, make some money. Is there like a goal? Like, let me make a bunch of money with the band, and then I have money to like buy information or, you know, take it to the next level with these hunters or something. Is that the goal? Like,
yeah, it's earn a little bit of extra pocket cash so that I can keep, you know, going out and giving money to try and, you know, pull up leads. You know, I got one or two kind of leads in the wings waiting to hear back from them as well. So, you might as well play and teach them, you know, some more songs, some more bands, you know, Hut and Biff, 4-seater, you know, we got Elton Jawa, I'm Still Scrapping, you know, all sorts of good bands. You know, we got Starians at Work, Both and Trade Overseers, BTO, Twisted Sarians as well. So.
Oh, come on. No, unmute your mics, guys. This is good stuff.
Oh, don't forget, we also have Tears for Fears. Sith want to rule the galaxy and shout. It's Poser's guilty pleasure. It's Sith listening, but it's fine.
Sith listening.
Oh, God. You know what? I can't deny it. Aiden, you get a force point for that, buddy. That was good. That was well thought out. That was very good. Did you hammer these off recently?
Some of them, yes. Some of them I've held on since day one. Sarians at Work and Cage the Rancor are 2 from the original.
Wait, I've heard Cage the Rancor. We've mentioned that before in episodes. You can even out to dude. That is cool. Poser gets a force point for that. I am truly impressed.
I also have a couple more that I wouldn't tell the band members about.
We're saving that, you know.
Well, I can either save them or give them out now. Depends.
To you. I will tell you. Hang on. Before you do, I got another thing for you. So, cue the montage of Poser practicing in their proverbial garage and becoming less in the background and writing with the main guys and them being impressed, and people showing up like their friends taking note and helping, them playing slightly less divey cantinas, only slightly kind of thing, word getting around. And by the time we hit week 4, settling at the end of the montage, we have him playing songs like, go ahead.
See, I don't blurb anymore. Galaxy of Confusion. I'm still scrapping. Let's see. In the Spores Tonight, Force Eater. And, songs of the like.
Very cool. More and more naturalist Syrians show up. You bounty hunters that hang out in these seedy bars, wherever this band shows up with that young guy you think you saw a couple weeks ago, people start coming to their gigs. Notably females. Notably Syrian females start turning up. And one of you guys are randomly at your favorite little dig slate, and you do your set, and they want you to open for somebody that's, getting popular. No offense, you're like the regular, so your drinks and money guaranteed, right? And always a willing new talent, and it's that young buck. He's joined a band. And before you finish your set, you're looking out at a crowd of nice little circle tables filled with cone-headed Syrian women, looking bored out of their skull, but hey, way to pack him in there, Slade. And when you finish and get mild applause, and Poser and his guys take the stand, and the women all scooch up, you realize they're not there for you. They're there for a rabble-rouse of alien band members where, I'm not going to say he's the lead singer, but there's like the Jonas Brothers or the type of thing where you have like there's the two at the front, like bare naked ladies, the two guys sing kind of thing. And on the left side there, getting a lot of attention, is that youngin that you personally set on the path to greatness. Little couple words of encouragement from you, sir, and you are sure that you were the one. That maybe he found that old fogey he was looking for, maybe not, but the boy seems to have purpose now. Gladdens your heart.
We all just need a little keel for toe from time to time.
And we will see you all next time. And an alien comes running on the stage.
And now, Matt Norman, and he pays Ramones to the Jags. Slade!
The darkness of his light, the waves of brave Helipad, the sun that got no light, saw his old world's breaking, as dolls the soul that man, across of his making, the man who can't forget.